What's up? It's your boy Brian Nash, aka the Handsome Fister. As you can tell, I'm in the dungeon. I'm doing my thing. We're vlogging. We're gaming. We're streaming. We're doing it. Positive, motivation, inspiration, uplifting. But this is about branding. Episode 2 of branding. It is the most underrated piece of the puzzle. The successful people, companies have learned to sell either themselves or the brand. The reason people believe in brands and believe in people is because the brand believes in itself. You have to undoubtedly 100% wholly believe in what you're doing, love what you're doing, and engage with the customer base in order to be successful. Branding. And in order to do that, you have to be consistent. You have to show the customer base or fan base that they matter to you. For instance, my favorite streamers are the ones that engage the people, talk back to the people, and don't feel like they're above anybody else. The ones that feel like they're above anybody else or they're better than anybody or whatever. Like I'll watch their gameplay, but I don't engage. Like I don't follow, I don't subscribe because I don't get anything out of it. I engage and support the ones who engage back, like Swag XBL or Swag. I found him on YouTube because I was watching Marka J. Um, and to be honest, no offense to Marka J, but I don't watch Marka J anymore because Swag was more engaging. Um, Soad Man from the UK, he's a streamer. He plays Blackout every night, which is morning to us. Um, on Facebook, every time I check it out, if I'm, you know, on a lunch break or before work and he's on, I'll check it out because he talks back, he engages, he and they're all good at the game, and they care about us. They care about the audience and what we want to see, and that's important. It's really important to make sure your fans and your customers feel like they're part of the team. So that's one of the biggest flaws that I had in the music business is because not that I felt like I was better than anybody else, but I thought that I would win because of it, because of my content, not because um and I didn't engage with people. I didn't talk to people. I didn't, I talked to certain people who, were, part of the team or part of the circle, but and I would talk to certain people if I ran into them, outside of the music business, but like it wasn't I didn't engage um with the people like I should have. Like I should have shook more hands. I should have networked more. Um, I should have did. I should have. It's basically like running an election, and I didn't do that. So I failed. And so like now when I come back, when Brian Ash comes back, it's a whole different Brian Ash, whole different style of music, whole different style of gaming, whole different style of content, and it's very important that I say this because I mean it, and it's important. If you want to build a brand, you have to relate to your customer base. If you don't relate to your customer base, they'll think you're a fraud. They won't buy it. They won't, support it. So it's more than just creating the content or creating the product. You have to be able to sell the product. And if you can't sell the product and people don't follow or support what you're doing, you're not going to be successful. Branding is so important. It is just as important as marketing. In some cases, I believe it's more important than marketing because, for instance, if you look at Wu Tang Clan, they have the one of the deepest followings ever because they engaged the people. ICP from Detroit, Insane Clown Posse from Detroit, they created a culture which the federal government has labeled a gang. Like real shit. Like and the way that they did it, because back then they didn't have like social media and stuff like that. They went to high schools, colleges, universities, and sold their tapes, and they were so confident in their tapes that it worked, and people ate it alive, and it was just amazing. It went from skyrocketed, and they almost had a deal with Disney, and they ruined it, but Disney didn't even listen to them. Disney was just like, oh my god, this is like the hot new thing, and they're clowns until they realized that it was like they're like murderous clowns, but whatever. So they branded themselves, and it worked to where they ate off of their music, and other people ate, and other people created. And same thing with Wu Tang Clan. There was many sub um, groups that came out of Wu Tang Clan, like Kill Army and all them, and a huge solo careers for like Method Man, ODB, Ghostface Killer, RZA. Like they all did some solid shit on their own. So they branded themselves to make it to where they were iconic and they would live forever. So they engaged their audience. The audience felt like they were a part of them, and boom. And it was just engagement. It was just talking. It was just, you know, Gary Vaynerchuk, Gary V. He engages everybody. If you send him a message on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, whatever, and it's relevant to what he's thinking about or talking about, he'll answer you back personally. He will personally answer you back. That's fucking amazing for somebody who's got like 3 million fucking followers. So the thing is, it's like not just to be the thing, but you have to use the thing to make it. It's so important. It's so very important. And so the Gary V brand is gigantic. Podcasts, wines, Ask Gary V podcast, just the general content. He's a huge keynote speaker for businesses. That is gigantic in branding. So, I don't know if y'all, believe me or not, or if I'm talking out my ass, you can comment below. But I mean, I've been paying so close attention to everybody who's making it and doing it big, and I mean, even your rock bands, like they when they performed at the smaller venues, if they had good music or decent music, excuse me, sorry about that. It's grinding, man. They engaged with the crowd, audience, fan base to where you felt like you were part of the band, like Kiss, Nirvana. Like, think about people still talk about Nirvana like they're still around. You know what I'm saying? And people still talk about the Rolling Stones and the Beatles and all those iconic bands because they the engagement with the fan base was huge, and they listened to the fan base and the customer base that made them uber successful and made them iconic and last forever. It's huge. Like people got to realize that it's not just about what you're doing and everything else, because I've been creating content for as long as there's been social media, and I have done it so wrong up until recently to where I'm starting to patiently build a following because I believe in my brand now. I believe in Brian Esch and Handsome Fister. So believe in yourself, believe in the brand, sell the brand, and there is nothing that will stop the brand if you do it right. Engagement in the audience. It's been your boy Brian Esch, aka the Handsome Fister. Peace.